Okay, guys, we are back on Seattle Sanctuary, and as you can see, my rice is starting to grow. I was just chit-chatting with Morph and Crowsbane and Biddy, um, just as a little bit of proof that Biddy does actually play on this server. So if any of you are following Old Biddy Gaming, she is actually on this server. She is not pulling your leg in any way. Let's check on the other crops here. Okay, they're starting to grow as well. Um, this is the cucumber. That's the strawberries. But if you look at a distance, they kind of look the same at this growth cycle. And then of course the corn and the pumpkins. But I thought we would do something a little bit different today, and it's a little bit against what I normally do. Let's see. Yeah, right there. We are going to take some cotton. I don't need that much cotton, but we're going to take some. Let's see. Let's start with 10. And some of you already know where I'm going with this, but we're going to go over here to the cart. And it's not going to let us drop everything into the cart. I had a mind blank for a second. Okay, let's drop what we can. So we've got the cotton there. And of course, I don't have a tool belt, and I don't have a tent. Keep that in mind. So if I die, I'm going all the way back to North Point. And then it's a trek back here. But as you can see, there are tons and tons and tons of animals around this deed. All of them non-aggressive because of my guard, but we need meat, and we need to thin out the herd a bit, pun intended. So we're going to take on some Bessies because they don't really fight back as much. I'm still going to get hurt, but not as bad as taking on some of the other stuff. I did do a quick look. We're going to put this over here so it's kind of out of the way. I did take a quick look to see if there were any chickens around, and I didn't see any other than this little guy right over here. But as you can see, most of what I'm dealing with is cows and bulls. And, the occasional horse here and there, but mostly cows and bulls. I don't trust going against a bull, because, actually, we want the butchering knife too. Because I think bulls are a bit tougher. We'll take that. But we want to definitely take out some of these cows for two reasons. Like I said, we need meat. But at the same time, and I also don't trust my guard, so we're going to go slightly off deed a little bit. And we're going to go after this guy here. Oh, it's just an orange flower. Okay. But the second reason is because I changed the amount. Is that a pig? That is a pig. I changed the amount on the number of creatures and lowered it down significantly. Well, that means that until it doesn't matter how many times the server restarts, until some of the animals start dying off, it's not going to be able to regulate itself. So, for example, if there is, I don't know, 75,000 creatures on your server, and there was not that many, by the way, but if there was, and you knocked it down to, say, 25,000, you can restart your server every day for a month. And until a bunch of them die off, there's still that many on there. So as they die off, the number dwindles down until it hits that mark, that 25,000 or whatever you set it at, and begins to regulate itself. That's the maximum number of creatures that's allowed on your server. If the number of creatures actually already exceeds that, it just waits until it gets down to that point. It just won't spawn any new ones until then. We're going to chase this cow a little bit. Get up here. All right, now we're going to target the cow. Do I? Hang on. I do have my staff. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay. So combat should be on. There we go. We got to watch our health, and we got to watch the cow's health. We want that up. And this video will pretty much kind of do some stuff. You know what? I'm going to turn off Freedom Chat for now. Sorry, everyone. I'm not trying to ignore you. They're talking about bees and what have you, and explaining to one of the players how the beehives work. But I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to deal with the video. I don't want to be able to focus. There is another GM on right now, and that's Biddy. So if I activate my cotton, I can... Oh, I'm too busy. Okay. So I would have to take off my auto attack. But we're also doing this. Oops, I don't even have my skills up. I apologize. There we go. So combat should be going up. There's pole arms right there. Staff. Yeah, so I can expand that one for now. Defense should be going up a little bit. Aggressive fighting. See, he's... Because I'm not very skilled at it, where is my fighting? Right there. Okay, so nothing below... Nope. Okay, so I can have this all the way up. And you guys can see the staff, you can see the pole arms, you can see the aggressive fighting, the weaponless fighting, the body strength going up. But because my skills are seriously lacking in pole arms, in staff, and in aggressive fighting, I'm losing a lot of health. Why do I go aggressive? Well, there's two, well, actually, technically three different schools of thought to this. Okay. There's three different schools of, now that the cow's not screaming in my ear. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys, but it's loud for me. If the combat is too loud, please leave me a comment down below so that I can adjust the volume levels. This is one of the things that I haven't been able to do because I haven't done too many combat style videos. Um, so I don't know how loud it actually is on that end. I'm hoping it's not super loud. I think I've got the game sounds turned down enough, but it's loud in my ear, and I'm just trying to talk over it, so I apologize if I start getting really loud. Um, so let's start with the cotton, and while that's going, I'm going to explain a few things. Actually, we should open. There we go. First aid on the torso. Oh, it's just going to keep going. Okay. So, there's technically three different schools of thought to combat. I subscribe to the aggressive fighting stance. You have some people that subscribe to the strictly to the defensive fighting stance, and then you have some that subscribe to normal. Combat, there's aggressive, there's defensive, there's normal. And obviously, if you're using a bow or something, you would go with ranged. That keeps the target, whatever you're fighting, at a distance while you're still shooting at it. Aggressive fighting does more damage, but doesn't defend you as well. You still get some defense out of it, but it doesn't give you as much defense. Why are you not first aiding? Defensive fighting, on the other hand, go for that one specifically. Defensive fighting, on the other hand, is good gravy. What? Okay, let's just go for something else. Got 2 wounds there. Let's get those bandaged up. Defensive fighting is the exact opposite of aggressive fighting. Defensive fighting primarily focuses on defense. So you don't get as much in the way of damage output. I've always been more for damage output than defenses, because the higher your damage output, the faster you can kill something. Now, that said, the exact opposite is also true. If you go with defensive and that's what you're focusing on, you stand to survive the battle a bit longer, and you can possibly wear your opponent down more. That means they'll be out of stamina, or what have you. So it's not bad to go either way, but you really need to pick which weapon you're going to go with and stick with it in Worm, to really get those skills up. And you also need to decide which stance. The sooner you decide which stance you're going to go with, the more that skill can go up. The better you're going to be at combat. It doesn't matter if you go aggressive or you go defensive. Matter of fact, you can even skill up in normal fighting. So pick one of them and just stick with it. I go for aggressive because it does give that bonus to combat. And very light bruise. Okay, try to first aid that one. Very light bruise. Try to first aid that one. I think we've already pretty much first aided everything that we can. Yeah, I don't think the bruises are going to go away with wound. No. Oh, that is a bruise and it's bandaged. Okay. So they will actually go away. Okay, good. Like, why am I... Suddenly I was no longer activated on the cotton. I want my cotton activated. Okay, so there goes that one. Let's try to do this one again. But so as I was saying, combat is going to be the focus of this particular episode because I want to show you guys that it's really nothing to be afraid of. There are several creatures that you can take on that are not going to kill you as fast as others. The second reason is we need meat. Well, the only way to get meat is to butcher a corpse. So, okay, that is a very light bruise. Okay, first aid that. We're just trying to get back up. And if we have to, we'll go get more cotton and so forth. But I didn't know how much we were going to need. We're going to go ahead, activate the butchering knife. We're going to butcher this corpse. Oh, doggone it. I forgot my shovel. That's okay. That is okay. We're going to take the corpse. It's going to weigh us down. Let's see. In the events, we got produced 4 meat, produced a cow tail, produced a hoof, failed to produce fat, failed to produce hide, produced a bladder, 2 eyes. Okay, and the eyes can be used for cat's eyes for the highway. If I was to go and deal with that. We're going to actually go back this way. Because I want to be, I got to grab my shovel. We're going to we're going to drop this dude's, drop Bessie's corpse. I'm going to take all this stuff out of it. We're going to drop Bessie's corpse at the base of this tree where this other cow is. We're going to fight that other cow too, but I want to make sure I'm off deed. So this dude doesn't step in uninvited. I don't know. Can we heal on the go? Oh, that one's already bandaged. Okay, so let's try this one. Yes, we can. So we're also gaining skill in first aid. Not a lot, but all right. We're going to drop the corpse right there at the base of the tree. We're going to run back and we'll drop the meat and the other stuff off and grab the shovel. And yes, you can actually, you know what? In a previous episode, I told you that I didn't have a corpse, so we can't sell it to the marker. But let's take this first one, and we'll go ahead and do that. We'll drop that. Oh, we got 20 meat, 20 beef. I didn't realize that. Tail, hoof. I don't think the bladder. No. And I'm pretty sure the eyes can't go in there either. Oh, the eyes can go in there. 8 eyes? How do I have 8 eyes? I only had 2. Confusing thing. Open. Alright, so we're going to drop the tail and all this stuff in here. Okay, and we're going to pull out some more cotton because we're definitely going to need it. Let's do a full 20 that time. And we're going to highlight these and combine them. Okay, so now we should have plenty of cotton to do 1 or 2 more. Open the cart, and we can close the bulk storage bin. The crude shovel will work. It doesn't matter what shovel, but we want to carry one with us. All right, let's go back and grab this corpse. And while we're still hooked on cotton, we're going to try to... Oh, it's already bandaged. Never mind. Everything else is healed up. Okay, take the corpse, and we're going to slow walk it back over this way until we get back on the packed dirt. So in the meantime, I'll grab a swig of coffee. I know how Biddy loves her coffee. Okay, 2.75 on grass, 3.63, which is still slow. It is, but what can you do? Okay, so we also have some cows over here. There's a deer right there. There's a sheep right there. There's a couple of sheep. So we can go after any of that stuff. I'm just going to avoid the bulls for a moment until we get better at fighting. They will eventually die off, but there's no reason why I can't help the server along in this aspect. Now, in a roleplay sense, I wouldn't know that this was a server, or I wouldn't pretend that it was a server or anything like that. It would just be more of a, hey, there is a ton of animals. That's free meat. I could use the meat, you know. Okay, so we want to be on event. Right-click the settlement token after activating the corpse. Okay, and we're not going to get a whole lot for this one, but it is quality level 100. Go here to sell. 11 irons. 11 irons in US dollars, that's 11 pennies. It's literally 11 cents. It takes 100 irons, for those of you that don't know, to equal 1 copper. 100 coppers, which are effectively $1, to equal a silver, which are effectively $100, and then $100. I knew he was going to run away. Or 100 silver to equal a gold. As far as I understand, the gold is the highest denomination. It's the highest I've seen. Of course, we're going to be dealing with this stuff in the marsh. You know what? There's a is that a sheep or a ram? It's a ram. They're probably tougher than the sheep too. Eventually, we're going to knock down this hill here, but let's see what we got. So keep in mind, I believe somewhere up in here is the end of the deed, right at the grass line. So we want to stay off that. We got a cow right here we'll go ahead and take care of. I don't know if height on a hill affects anything. Okay. I want to make sure it wasn't that she wasn't going onto the deed. So yeah, I don't know if higher ground affects anything. So let's test the theory. Now, mind you, I have a staff. This is an iron staff. Pretty poor quality level. Probably could be improved if we had some higher quality iron lumps. But that's going to affect our combat as well. The staff also allows for a little more length in distance between you and the target. It's fairly quick in its attacks. Surprisingly enough, it actually does seem like hills do help a little bit. So I'm going to tab out just for a second. And we're going to go Wormpedia. Okay. Yeah, it says under miscellaneous fighting rules and tips, standing above an opponent improves your chance to hit and reduces the capacity of them to target your upper components. Riding a mount provides a similar effect. Standing beneath one or reverses this effect, so they would have a higher chance to hit your upper extremities. Um, Running out of stamina during a fight reduces your capacity to defend incoming damage and will often make escape impossible. Um, if you use spam mode to show missed blows, parries, you can use spam mode to show missed blows, parries, and blows for zero damage. Moving while fighting gives a penalty to the hit odds of the person moving, and a big penalty to the parry odds. This is ignored if moving while using defensive fighting. So if you're using defensive fighting, you can move and you don't receive that penalty. If you are not using defensive fighting, so normal fighting, aggressive fighting, or ranged fighting, there's a penalty for moving. To the hit odds and to parry odds. There's a flanking bonus to hit from the side or back. If you're outnumbered, face your strongest opponent. If you outnumber them, surround them. Um, Bigger numbers matter. Gang up on people. Also, uh, if multiple people start to attack you, it's best to try to get some of them off you, even if you severely outclass them. When you get hit, you will start hurting. That means you move slower for 30 seconds. Um, and that's 30 seconds from the last time you were hit. So every time you get hit, that 30 seconds starts over. It doesn't matter where it was in its count prior. You could be down to 24 seconds or you could be down to 12 seconds and it would still restart that 30-second timer. It doesn't add to it, it just restarts it. And using sleep bonus while fighting will not benefit fighting skill itself. The main skill, um, they really need people to correct the grammar on here. They have punctuation where it doesn't need to be. Let me try this again. Using sleep bonus while fighting will not benefit the fighting skill itself as in the main skill, but will benefit sub-skills under the main fighting skills, such as defensive fighting, aggressive fighting, etc., in addition to all other skills utilized during fighting. So, that means that uh, all of these skills here will increase with sleep bonus, along with my pole arms, my staff, whatever else I'm using. Okay, so we are going to take this one. I think we can butcher while we're walking. Yes, we can butcher while we're walking. Good. Ooh. See, we got a lot of wounds here, but all of them are very light. Or that one's light, but so that's going to be a lot easier to heal from. All right. Didn't get fat, hide, bladder, or eyes on that one. We got 3 meat, a tail, and a hoof. Oh, you know what? We're not selling these. We're going to take all this and put it on us. We're going to grab the shovel, and we're going to bury the corpse. Why are we not? Does the crude shovel not allow me to bury? Okay. If that is the case, then I apologize. I did not know. Drop on ground. Yeah, I didn't know that the crude shovel wouldn't allow me to bury. So let's swap that out. And we may as well, start working on these. There's my iron shovel. Put the crude shovel back. Close that up. So this is really good for skill ups, but it also helps to get some, and I probably could have dropped that meat off while I was there, but oh well. It helps us to get some meat to make hot foods, so it's something we're going to need to do anyway, but yeah, see, now it'll let me bury it. Please don't dig up my ground. Okay. Now, we're going to finish healing real quick. Oops. I was healing the legs and the arm went back to normal. Come on. Okay, just got a message on Discord from an individual on the server So let me take a look at that real quick while we're healing. But our next target is going to be that sheep, since it's close enough. And it's always nice to have a variety of different meats. Um, let's see. Okay, so looks like they're still sending me messages. All right, our last wound is healing right now. Um, this person has has said that they're willing to help, but this is the... Oh, where am I going? Where'd the sheep go? I went the wrong way. Um, that's a ram. What happened to the sheep? Let's get up here so we can see. Oh, it's on the other side of the horse. This person, let's make sure we are not... Oh, oh, nope. Oh, okay, we're good. So we're going to target the sheep. Um, so I was in discussions with the owner of the first Cordova on the server. Um, they are, yeah, up that way a bit. Um, they kept getting stuck, and I realized that uh, after checking out what was going on, that they were um, stuck in an area that was too shallow. That was partly my fault when I created the map. I did not deepen the water areas enough near the land for players with larger boats. I actually didn't even take it into consideration. I apologize for that. I'm working on fixing that. It's going to take some time. But um, it's something that I'm more than willing to do. Like I said, was partly my fault. So I have no problem putting in the time to fixing it. It's a server fix. It's not really something that players can do. Um, and that leaves other things that players can do open to other people doing them if they want to volunteer. Um, Somebody left me a comment earlier, and I think I know who it was, but I'm not 100% certain. And I posted a reply to it, and then an hour or so later, I went back and reread it, and I can see how it. And there was no other reply to my reply or anything like that, but I can see how it could have looked to another person in negative light. My response. It was not intended that way. So it was suggested that there are other servers that people have been on, and myself included, where players are often compensated for helping to build roads or um, you know bridges or build buildings in a town or whatever. Um, I'm not against that. I just tend, their reasoning was because it frees the GMs up to do more important things that players can't do. And I get that logic. I really do. Um, I'm not saying that I'm not willing to compensate my players. Um, the fact is, you could probably talk to several of the players that are currently on this server, and they really haven't done anything specifically for the server itself. There are others that have, but I haven't been able to catch up with them yet. Um, people tend to play at times that I'm not on, or while I'm at work, or what have you. Um, oops, can't open the corpse if I have not butchered it. Um, but some of the players on will um, attest to the fact that I am oftentimes a lot more generous than I should be. Um, Pretty much every player that's been on the server that I have ran into has gotten something from me. Um, Not because they asked for it, but because I want to be nice and I want to help people out. Oftentimes, it is a rare item or better. Um, and I'm not saying that to brag or anything. I want people to play. I want them to see that the admins on this server, and right now it's just myself and Old Bitty Gaming. But I want them to see that we're here to help them out as much as we can, but they have a friendly staff that they're working with. We're not here to gripe and complain at people, or boot people off the server or whatnot. I mean, I'm definitely not wanting to do all of this work myself, but at the same time, I'm more than willing to. Has nothing to do with freeing myself up for. I'll take that. I'll even take the fat. Why not? And then we're just going to bury the corpse right where it's at. And then we're going to grab our cotton and we're going to start healing again. Yeah, so it has nothing to do with freeing me up really to do more important things, because I'm very keen on what needs to be done, and I typically, not always, but I will typically assess what has the most importance. Right now, not like literally right now, but the most recent project I'm dealing with, as I mentioned in the last video, I believe I mentioned it, is dealing with this shallow water issue. That is a server-wide issue that multiple people are going to run into if it's not fixed. I cannot ask every single player that decides, to build a larger boat to spend countless days or weeks or even months dredging out the ocean floor just so they can sail. I can't do that. Um, that's gonna result in more and more and more players not wanting to play on the server. It's a lot more fun if you can just build your boat, have the satisfaction of knowing it's built, and as soon as you dump that thing in the water, man, you're out and just sailing around, not stuck on the floor, not able to go anywhere, not able to use your new toy. Um, that kind of sucks. What's the point in even building the boat if you can't go anywhere in it? Why would you even bother? So this person chose to build a boat not knowing that the ocean floor was too shallow. I didn't realize it was too shallow, but they wanted to be able to sail around and take a look at what the server even looked like from the ocean. Um, yeah, I'm all for it. All for it. But they can't do that if they're stuck. And they've not only built the first boat that I'm aware of on the entire server, but they built the first large boat on the server. Cordova is not a small sailing vessel at all. Uh, First things first, most people either build a dugout kayak or they build a rowboat. Um, Actually, I'm not sure you can build a kayak on here. Let me let me look real quick, cause yeah. Let's go back up here. Okay, vehicles, ships. Okay, you can build. Yes, you can build a crude canoe, a rowboat, a small sailing boat, a corbeta. Sorry, I was getting the name wrong. A cog, a nar, Knarr, and a caravel. The corbeta is the first of the larger boats, but it requires a minimum depth, according to Wormpedia, requires a minimum passable depth of 21. That's 21 dirts. So does the cog. So does the caravel. Everything else requires 5. Well, all of the ocean depths for the most part, right near the land. Were typically between 16 and 18. Some areas were a little deeper, some were a bit shallower. But why would I leave it like that, knowing that my players are having issues? So that's what I'm focusing on right now. I have to still finish the inn for the new town, or I'm sorry, the North Point. I'm still working on a new town down to the south. Ooh, there's another cow. And oh, I'm not full health yet. Don't run into the cow. Please don't run into the cow. That's bandaged. Okay, so it's the legs I got to worry about right now. Um, but it was brought to my attention that, hey, I built a new toy and I keep getting stuck. Okay, well, that's a player concern. That means it's first priority. Um, the videos kind of mean nothing if the player isn't, or if the player base for the server isn't happy. And I know there's no way that I can ever please everyone, and I'm not trying to. But the simple fact is, even once I'm done, and it's going to take a while, but once I'm done with the dredging and fixing the water surface, or the below water surface, I guess. I'm still going to be working on roads. I'm still going to be working on North Point. I'm still going to be working on Outpost 13, which is now down south. There's nothing built there yet, but I'm working on that as well. And then, you know, to boot, I'm still working on putting in guard towers and points of interest, and I'm going to keep working on this server, even if I'm the only person on the server. And I hope that makes sense. I'm not asking anyone, and I never will ask anyone to do anything I'm not willing to do. So, of course, if I'm going to ask people to put in time um, to work on the server, then by Joe, I better be willing to work on the server too. That's how I feel about it. If I'm playing and there is a player concern, or if I'm working on something, and because I'm watching Freedom Chat, the global Freedom, I'm watching for private messages. A lot of servers I've been on, they don't want you private messaging the admins for any reason without consent. I'm giving you consent. If I am on alpha, it's my GM character. You log in, you ask if I'm on, or you start talking in global chat and you see that I'm chatting in there, or whatever, where I respond to you, I'm on. If you need to private message me about something, do it. I'm not going to get mad at anyone for sending me a message. No one. If I am not set up to be able to help you at that moment, I'll let you know. But I will always make an attempt to help everyone as quickly as I can. If it means I drop what I'm doing, if I'm out here in the water dredging and you're on the other side of the map, I'm teleporting to you to help you out, and then I'll go back to doing what I was doing. That's how I choose to operate. Um, Come on, fight, fight! Ding, ding, ding. Oh, yeah. So I'm not too worried about it. Um, if players choose to um, volunteer their time, you know, making roads, making buildings. I mean, one player is doing a little bit of farming up at North Point. Um, yeah, Morph, don't think I didn't notice. Uh, um, I am fine with that. If I don't want something there, I'll remove it. I'm not worried about it. I check on every deed on the server periodically, including my own. I know what's going on my server, and if I don't know what's going on, um, you know, then I'm not doing my job right. But I check in on people. Today, three people are on, Biddy being one of them. I specifically asked, or specifically mentioned that, hey, I'm getting ready to start my vid. Does anybody need anything before I go? Because I'll delay the video. If somebody needs some help first, I'll delay the video to be able to go and help them. Um, if you're wanting to go out and build some, or work on your paving and make some roads, I don't care what material you use. I don't, because over time somebody else is going to come through and they're going to repave it with something else or whatever. That's I have no concern with that. A road is a road is a road. It's less that I have to do. Let me know that you're working on that road. Maybe I can come over and give you a hand or something. Hey, do you need materials? What can I help you with? I'm perfectly fine with that. Um, if I've had a few people that mention that that's a possible way um, to compensate for those that don't like combat. That's why I've implemented the fishmonger, so you can go out and fish, and that's honestly probably the best method on this server right now, other than combat. But 1 copper. Well, that's a whole lot more than the corpse is worth. A copper's not that. I gotta kill what 200 cows to get my deed upkeep for the month. That's 200 cows over the course of the month. And if I kill a few cows a day, then that puts a few coppers in there that I can throw into the upkeep here and there. I mean, it all works out, but you're going to end up getting combat skills by doing this. There's the fishmonger is a method. The bounty is a method for those that do want to play combat. Um, I have merchant stands available so that when you get to that point, you can purchase a merchant contract and start selling things. Um, and I'm working on a few other methods. I'm certain I'm forgetting something somewhere, but um, I can't think of it right now. Okay, more stuff. That's good. If I think of the other, I'm certain there's another method to make money too, and I can't remember. Um, but anyway, on top of that, you can go do a bunch of crafting. Well, the game's based on crafting. Why wouldn't you craft? Well, just craft some garbage items. And as long as they're above, I believe it's quality level 8.5. So to start off with, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot. But if they're above 8.5, you can sell them to your deed token, your uh, that thing right there, a settlement token. You can sell them to it, and you can get a few coin here and there. The higher quality stuff, the more it's worth. Build yourself a boat, make a fishing rod, go out and do some deep ocean fishing. Bring the fish back, sell them to the monger. He's going to pay you for them. And like I said, I think that's the best form of um, money making on this server right now. Oh, another message. Hold on. Well, apparently this person misunderstood what I was saying as far as the ocean depths and whatnot. Um, but that's fine. I'm not willing to get into an argument about something I'm planning on doing on the server, but that's okay. It's just a misunderstanding, and oh, I gotta heal first. Let's go up here to heal. Let me try to. I'll heal up, and I'll try to communicate this a little better. Um, I'm not gonna mention any names at the moment, but some people that I've talked to have misunderstood something that was said in at least one of my videos, if not more. Um, Most likely yesterday's video. So let me make this very, very, very clear. If you build a boat on the shore and I haven't gotten around to your, now that I know that there's an issue, and I haven't gotten around to fixing the water. I know it's difficult. Maybe I can go up on the here. Let's do this. This might be a little easier to see. I know this takes away from the video. I apologize, guys, but this is something that needs to be addressed as quickly as possible so that there's no more confusion. Okay. It's a little difficult to see, but you can see how the land dips down right here. Okay? You can see right here, there's a line. If you go up high enough on the... What is that? An age steel. An age steel. If you go up high enough on the mountain, you can see that there's... it might be a little difficult to see in the video. I apologize. But there's clearly a line right here that shows where the drop-off is. That drop-off is more than deep enough. That goes 60, 80 tiles deep, if not further. Everything that's closer may or may not be deep enough. I don't know. That's when I'm going to be going around over the course of the next few weeks or so, in what spare time I have. Uh, that's what I'm going to be going through trying to clean up. Now, there are going to be some areas, like this area is plenty wide enough for anyone to be able to sail in and out of. There are other areas that are really narrow. I'm not going to be going through those areas to deepen those areas. Those are going to be areas that, um, at least it's not my plan to. That may change later on, but it's not my plan to right now. Those are going to be areas that the shallower boats will be able to go into because they're like little coves and stuff. If I can, that's not my primary concern. My primary concern is to make sure that all of these open areas are deep enough. I mean, obviously, this tile here should not be 25 tiles deep. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be a straight drop off. So if you decide that this is the place you're going to build your encampment and you know that this is very shallow right here, don't build a large boat there. Or dredge the doggone thing out to where it goes to the deeper water. But I'm going to be going around and bringing the deeper water a little closer to land for all of the islands, the mainlands, all that stuff as quickly as I can. Okay? I'm not trying to sound like a a-hole in any way, but um, it was a mistake on my part when I designed the map. That's why I'm trying to fix it. If players want to help to dredge out those areas, I'm not going to stop them. I'm just saying that there are certain areas that I don't feel are a priority to dig out. There are a lot of areas that I fully agree need to be dug out now that I'm aware that there is an issue. Okay? So please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying I'm not digging those areas out. I'm saying that it's not going to be a priority for me. And down the road, I may get to them. And down the road, I may not get to them, depending on how narrow those areas are. Um, Let me see if I can show this to you. I like using this one area as an example. Actually, I'm going to use a different area as an example for this one. Where's my recording software? Right there. We're going to switch screens. Okay. So this area is far south. This, let me, oops, my deeds are turned off. Sorry about that. That's Outpost 13. Okay? I haven't done hardly anything with it. Nothing. I'm still working on it. It's got a lot of work to be done. This whole area should be dug out close to the shore, right? That's a nice wide open area. There's no reason that can't be deep enough for the large boats. But if we scroll in here, why would you be trying to put a cog or a gnar in this little cove knowing that it's probably going to be shallow? Or in this body of water, knowing it's going to be shallow? You can't even get through there. That's without dredging. You can't do anything about it. Let's go down here. That's really odd that that is so straight. I just noticed that. I did not make it. Well, I didn't intend to make it that way. I didn't realize that it was that way. Okay, so let's come down in here. This same idea. If you're coming through here, I could see that there might be a channel, a narrow channel right through the center that would be deep enough. But look, let's consider the topography of land in real life. You are not going to get a battleship parked right up on this shore. The closest you're going to be is probably out in this area here. And you're going to use smaller boats to get to the shore. That's my point. Make whatever you want to make. If you want to, I don't have a problem dredging out a good portion of this. I'm going to leave a little bit away from the shore, and players on this server will find a spot that they like, and if they're deciding that they're going to build a big ship or whatever, so be it. Build a big ship, but know that you probably got a handful of tiles that you may have to dredge down. Excuse me, just like any other server. The difference is this is a brand new server, so you haven't had 1,000 or 10,000 players running through that server, dredging everything out and doing everything they want, and you're just taking over a deed area that somebody else abandoned 6 months ago. Um, Something like this, why would you? I mean, there's barely 10 tiles going through there, barely. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 tiles from here to here. That's about the distance right there. Okay, from the tip here to the tip here, or the where the green changes colors, if you guys can see that. That's 10 tiles. That's about the same distance right here. Why would you even try to fit something that large into that body without knowing you're going to have to dredge it out? I don't have a problem coming in here and dredging out the center. It's going to take a little time. I mean, obviously, this is more than dredged out. Topography shows that. But that's not my fault. I mean, you really want to build a settlement up here and have, you know, one of the largest ships on the server parked up here, well, you're going to have to sail through all this anyway. You know that you're probably going to have to sail past other ships, other settlements, possibly bridges, what have you. Mm, might might take a little bit of getting used to, but when you get out to this point, I mean, since this is dug out, I will dig this section here out so that there's a path to go in there. I don't have an issue with that. But this probably is going to get cut somewhere like in here, and this is probably going to come around this way, and will probably get cut somewhere in there. I'm just saying. This is a narrow passage as well. My recommendation, if you're going to be sailing a very large ship, probably don't try to go through the narrower passages. Find a wider passage. Or spend some time and dredge it out to where your ship can fit. But right now, I am working on this area right here. I'm getting all of this cleared up so that it can be so people can flow into the main ocean, and I will continue northwards around the island and continue around and going south anywhere that it's super narrow, or I'm sorry, super shallow. I'm probably not going to dig out here. That seems a little pointless to me. Um, but I don't have an issue digging this out, uh, or digging it down so that it's not so shallow all around. And I'll continue working my way around. I even don't have an issue with letting you guys know roughly where I'm at. No, I don't have. I thought there was a grid set up, but apparently there's not. So right now, I am. There's the lake. Okay. Um, Alpha currently is parked right here at the tip of this little island, and I'm working on this segment right here to finish providing full output for the Corbita. That is my primary focus right now. I want that Corbita to be able to get out, and I'm going to continue working my way around. And I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to kind of clean this out a little bit. But this is just this segment alone. So if you cut this here, so this little landmass sticking out, and take all of this down through here, all the way up to the Ironman area, come straight across to this island and include all of this and all of this. That's probably going to take me, at the very least, several hours, if not several days. It's going to take time, but it's not an issue that I'm not willing to fix. Yes, I know, double negative, horrible English, but um, so that's what I'm trying to clear up. I'm not saying that I'm not willing to put in the work to fix my error. I definitely made an error when I created the map, and I'm trying to correct that. Now, I think where they're slightly confused, where a few people are slightly confused, as I was saying, I'm not going to dig all this out so that it's large enough for one of the large boats right here on the shore. That's silliness. It's absolute silliness. I will dig it out so that it follows a general topography of the land. Beyond that, there's already areas. Let me see. Um, okay, there's Biddy's Hideaway. Let's go. Let's go right up here to North Point. Look at how deep this goes right off the bat. These first few are already deep enough. They're more than deep enough. That's nothing but deep water. So there are definitely areas. Right here, that's deep enough pretty much right off the bat for you to put a large boat. Right here on the corner. Over here, this whole edge pretty much drops right off. There's this edge right here. Then you go into some shallower waters. This whole section of this island, the whole foothill of this island, pretty much this entire half of this island, that half of this island. There's areas. This whole segment is probably deep enough. So there are definitely areas that can be utilized by the larger vessels. Look at this cove just by itself. The only shallow areas, the very inner segment. Utilize the outside. Or, dig a path on the inside. I'm not telling you can't dredge. I'm just saying that I'm going to be focused on trying to bring it in towards the land a bit more. I'm not saying I'm not going to not do the work. I'm most definitely going to put in the work and make it usable for shipping trade and all that stuff, because that's going to be a form of commerce on the server as well. I'm going to have trade routes set up. I'm going to have shipping trade set up and all that stuff. I want players on this server to be able to have a lot of fun. And something like this, where you can't even build really unless you're going to build a small boat in here, it makes sense to me to go in and clean it out some. Because that's it's going to be a deterrent for players if they can't build stuff. So please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying I'm not going to, but if you choose to build in this little cove after having the topographical map available, knowing that that's shallow, you go there, and let's say you stand on this hillside and you look down and you see, oh yeah, the cutoff is right here. Why would you build a large vessel back here? Sure, that may be where your deed is set, but wouldn't it make more sense to maybe look at this segment here, or you know, hypothetically, jump in, you know, over here and take a look and see where the water cutoff is, where it actually drops down. Let's get back into game. See, now it's dark, so it's a little harder to show you. I wonder, because I could kind of see it on alpha, and I'm sure this video has probably gone on a bit long, but yeah, we're at an hour and 16, so we're going to be cutting this one here in just a minute. Let's see if we can see. Yeah. So you see where the shore is. All this is somewhat shallow. Okay. All of this is deep. So if you come up on a hill, and trust me, there are tons and tons and tons of hills at the waterside. But if you come up on a hill, make sure there's no wolves or anything around. I don't want to freak Biddy out. See, if you come up here, and all I'm doing is climbing the hill. Any hill. Go away, cow. Okay, I'm at my peak, so I'm going to hit my climb skill. Make sure I stay put. Do you see the difference in the color of the water? I mean, there's a line that runs right through here. So my best bet, based on what I can see, is probably build something over here based on where the water's at, or where the depth is at, if I want to build a large boat. Now, again, that said, oh, there's another bull. That said, or that might be still be the same one. I think I didn't butcher it. No, actually, I did butcher it. That's right, because we sacrificed that one to the or the meat to the token. Um, anyway, when I go through and I'm cleaning up the depth, I'm probably going to be cutting this in about like this. So it's still going to have a drop, but I want it to be a more of a gradual drop. I don't want it to be up here and immediately drop to negative 25. That's silliness. That means that you're going to have to dump a ton more dirt. Um, if you want to expand out, if I bring it in here, that gives you the opportunity to build this up so it's flat so you can build a dock. Or you can dredge it out. It's not that hard to dredge. You just need the tool. And that's something that you can craft. So, like I said, please don't misunderstand me. Don't think that I'm trying to be an a-hole or anything. I'm not. But, I'm trying to be fair with everyone and recognize that I oopsed in the design of the map. So I'm trying to go through and correct it. But I'm not willing to bring the negative 25 marker or whatever, negative 21 marker, all the way up to the land for the entire map. That's just silliness. Um, you know, uh, it's already at the land at several different places, and I have no problem bringing it close. But let's see. Let's actually go down here real quick. See if we can see it. See how it is from the land as well. We're going to go swimming. Okay, this is clearly too shallow. and then it gets deep, almost right off the bat. That is most definitely deeper than 25. I mean, you can see the rocks on the bottom. Here, we'll kill the character window and the inventory. But you can see, I mean, there's a lot of depth there, just a little bit offshore. That's what I'm trying to create. I don't want the whole place to be nothing but water. I want there to be certain areas that are more amenable to the smaller boats, but not because people are using smaller boats, but like something like this, you could easily build this up with a few dirts, and then you turn around and this is already deep enough. It doesn't need to be, I mean, I don't need to bring the 21 or whatever all the way up to the land. That's a lot. And some people wouldn't appreciate that. There's no way I'm going to be able to please everybody. So I promise I will do what I can as I can, and I'm out of food and drink, believe it or not. Okay, open. Let's we don't have any eyes. Okay, let's throw the lamb meat in there. So I hope I didn't just make somebody or multiple people angry at me. I'm not trying to be difficult in any way. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody understands what my intentions are. Again, I'm not saying it's at some point down the road that I wouldn't be willing to help people out if they're in a specific spot that maybe I overlooked or whatever, and it's just not shallow enough in that area. I mean, I'm obviously helping this the person with the Corbita. I want them to be able to get out and sail. I do. And they can't do that if they're stuck every tile. That's just, it was an oversight. So I want them to be able to go out and have some fun and check things out with their new toy. And, you know, I have no problem with that. In fact, I got right in and started right there. And right there. And right there. I got right in and started trying to figure out, as soon as I got off work, I got in and started to try to figure out how to help them out. I don't want them to be stuck. But I'm also not willing to dig everything out around the entire map because a few people want it that way. There are plenty of other things that I could be doing, but I will definitely go around the map and try to dig things out so that they're usable by everyone within reason. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. I want everything within reason. I don't, if I do everything on the server, that leaves nothing for anyone else to do. That kills half the fun of the game. Some people like to go out and build roads. Biddy has mentioned in several of her videos she loves to dig. Well, if I just, she wants to level her ground out or whatnot, and if I just went over and dumped a bunch of dirt on her, well, sure, she's got the dirt piles. She can level the land. But where's the fun in that? If she wants to dig, it would be better, which is something I actually did do, to just go over and build a dirt plateau. Nothing but dirt, but flat, a flat piece of ground large enough for her to just be able to go up and dig to her heart's content. Okay, well, It was a simple thing. It's done. She's having a blast with it. No harm, no foul. I helped her create her area and didn't look at the aspect of her needing dirt. So I went to go over and fix it. I'm going to make mistakes. That's just how things are going to be. Um, we all make mistakes. So, yeah, this is where we're going to end this video. And then I will be actually right back with video number 2. But this second video will be posted tomorrow because I have the wife's health and wellness group that I have to take her to. And I don't know if I'm going to be off work in time to be able to make a video. So I still want something to be able to put up for you tomorrow. My rant is over. I apologize to everyone. We did get some combat in, and that was what I had planned. Now I've got to cook some meat, drink some water. In fact, we'll go ahead and drink the water now. But we'll get some meat cooked up so we can at least get some food going. Oh, yep, see, I went on a fast apparently. Because now I'm solid orange again. But we'll get some food cooked up. And in the next video, what are we going to do? I think we're probably, yeah, we're probably going to take out a few more cows, but we're going to try to get some more leveling done as well. I am probably going to pull some dirt since I lost all my other dirt. Probably going to pull some dirt off of the marshland over here to start filling in some more. I don't know. We'll see where we go with that. We're going to get some cooking done. Gonna well, we've already checked on the crops. They're nowhere near ready, but we may get some more planting done. Try to do a bit more of a variety of stuff for this next video. But yeah, so we're gonna call it right there. If you haven't checked out Old Beatty Gaming, there is going to be a link in the end card, last 20 seconds of the video. And yeah, that's going to be it for me for this one. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.